Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
I'm Rachel Dahl on Nevada Newsmakers Today. We'll be visiting with Steve Ranson, who has co-authored Legacies of the Silver State, Nevada Goes to War, a book about World War II veterans, and proceeds go to the honor flights. We'll be with Steve on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Hi, I'm Renee Summerhour, digital news anchor here at 7 at 7. Watch our streaming nonstop newscast immediately with your mobile phone. 7 at 7 is the new way for you to get every bit of local news you need in just 7 minutes. Breaking news, local neighborhood news, weather, and sports are just a click away. Reporters bring you all of what's happening in the Valley. From Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, YouTube, and more. Get every bit of local news you need from the RJ and LVRJ.com.
Take a look at Pro Group Management and see how your workers' comp requirements can be met head-on. By taking a proactive approach, Pro Group can assure that your company is meeting or exceeding state and federal standards. As you move forward in your industry, Pro Group moves with you, simplifying regulatory tasks, clearing the way so you can get the job done and look to your future success. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Nevada Newsmakers Studio is located at the headquarters of the Nevada Trucking Association. Motion and purpose are a truck's greatest virtue.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
Good morning, I'm Rachel Dahl on Nevada Newsmakers and for Sam Shad today. Today we have a really special guest with us, Steve Ranson, who we could just take the whole show telling about what he's done in his life, but I'll let him tell some of it. He is currently the editor emeritus of the Lawton Valley News out in Fallon, my friendly competitor, but has been a vice principal, came to Fallon as an English teacher, and the most important thing right now is he has co-authored a book, Legacy of the Silver State, Nevada Goes to War, and that's what we want to talk about today with him. I read the book and cried through the whole dang thing. Probably will weep as we're talking about what you've done recently. Just got back from 2 honor flights. So why don't you tell first about Honor Flight, and then let's get into your trips and the book and what you're working on next.
Okay, how many minutes do we have?
I know,
Okay.
I know. We'll be here all week.
I just came back from an honor flight to Washington, D.C. The honor flight consisted mostly of Vietnam veterans. A few of the Vietnam veterans I knew one way or the other through either a mutual contact or one of the veterans is a retired colonel, and when I came into the National Guard in 1981, he was my mentor.
Oh my word. And
So
you went on this flight.
I went on this flight,
Steve.
and I talked to quite a few veterans just for them to get to know me. I'll be calling them and following up for a book that Ken Beaton and David Henley and I are writing on Vietnam veterans. And so far we have about 30 veteran stories from Vietnam.
Wow.
And with this honor flight, I took one in November, took one late last year that I have a few stories from and I need to
Okay.
follow up on. That is my project to keep me out of trouble. Since this is December, we always remember the importance earlier in the month with December with Pearl Harbor. And I had the opportunity 1 year to go on the Pearl Harbor trip,
Right.
and we had 4 World War II veterans who were able to go to the 80th remembrance
gosh.
ceremony at Pearl Harbor. And then the other honor flight led to the legacies of the Silver State. I had originally talked to John Yespa, who is director of Honor Flight Nevada, and kicked around the idea of a book. And I was looking to see prototypes of what did other authors do. And I felt I had World War II articles already published. So did Ken. So did David Henley. And David Henley wrote a book on the USS Nevada.
Right.
So we all began to talk. I talked to John. He thought it was a good idea. And I was able to go on the honor flight in February of 2020 with 18 World War II veterans.
gosh.
Every World War II veteran on that flight had an article written about him or her.
Wow.
So we include it in the book. And if I could, I brought a
Yeah,
copy of the
definitely
book.
show
Yes, here it is. But the book has more than 70 articles on our World War II veterans. The commonality among all of them is they have some tie to Nevada,
Right.
whether they grew up in Nevada and left, or they came from another state and moved to Nevada after World War II.
Right.
And there are some interesting historical facts in here that most people probably didn't realize. And I'll give you one, is that I've lived in 3 cities in Nevada.
Right.
I grew up in Reno. Was in Wells, not only taught school, but my former wife and I ran the weekly newspaper for the Stenningers up there, and then went to Panama for 2 years, came back, and I've been in Fallon ever since. We were on the deck of the USS Arizona. The historian was talking about the deaths aboard the USS Arizona, and he told the group there were only 3 Nevadans who died on the Arizona.
Oh, wow.
But here's the aha moment. One grew up in Wells.
Oh, wow.
Another came from a farming community in Fallon. And the other grew up in Reno. His father was a University of Nevada history professor.
Oh, my word.
So all 3 of them perished.
And is that story in
That
this
story
book?
is in here. And then Nevada's only Medal of Honor winner during World War II was Bruce Van Voorhees, who grew up in Fallon, graduated from Churchill County High School, and went to the Naval Academy.
Wow.
So we
That's
put all
amazing.
these together,
That's so
and the importance of this book, the Vietnam, the other articles I've written on different veterans, we have to get them into print. There are so many stories there, and what's happening now is so many years World War II vets would not talk about their service, including my dad.
Yeah.
And now in the last 7, 8 years, many of them who were in their 80s, now they're 90s, many of them have passed away. They wanted to tell their
We're
stories.
finally getting their stories.
We're finally getting their stories.
That's awesome.
And now we're working on Vietnam to get their stories. Many of the Vietnam vets are now in their mid-70s.
Yeah. And they're finally getting to where they'll talk about their experiences.
Yes.
I think it's important, real quick, for those who don't know about Honor Flight, give kind of a little explanation about what Honor Flight is. We're from Fallon, so we know, because we have these guys often. But what is this organization, and what do they do? Because this is amazing.
Honor Flight's a national organization, and many states have their own specific honor flights, like in Honor Flight Nevada. There's one in Southern Nevada. But what Honor Flight has done for the last 10 plus years is solicited applications from veterans, and they had primarily focused on World War II and moved to also to include Korea. And I believe they had the first all-Vietnam veterans flight, 2015, 2016, and then the first Native American flight in about 2016. So what they're trying to do is take these veterans back to Washington, D.C. to look at the memorials. And you'll ask how many monuments are in Washington, D.C. We always get this. It's like, who's buried in Grant's tomb. Yeah, but the only monument in Washington is the Washington Monument. The rest are memorials.
Okay.
So they have people and organizations that donate to Honor Flight, and it costs roughly about $1,000 to take each veteran back to Washington, D.C.
And Honor Flight pays for the veteran to go. The veteran doesn't.
Based on the contributions they receive.
Yeah.
So this kind of brings me back to the
Right.
book, that all net proceeds from the book are going to Honor Flight. And as we speak right now, I've been telling everybody we were short of $22,000. We have now gone over $22,000, and with the December is the holiday season. We pick up on the sales and pushing the book and having more in-person greet and meets with different people and selling the book. And not only are we selling this book now, but there are other authors who have given us their books to go ahead and include.
Oh, wow.
One of them, Dan Quinley, about 7-8 years ago, wrote a book on his mother and father, and his dad, which is included in our book,
Right.
was a co-pilot of a B-17,
Right.
flying missions over Germany, and on the 14th one, the plane was shot down. The crew parachutes out. Not all of them make it, from what I remember, but Cecil Quinley was captured, and he was a prisoner of war for 18 months until he was released. So what Dan, his son, did is talked about Cecil's service, but all the love letters that he and Margaret, his wife, wrote before, during, and after the war.
That's amazing. You cannot read this book without crying. It's just really wonderful.
And I still go through and read for getting information, or I went back into this book to get information for a Pearl Harbor story for this year.
Good.
And it just causes me to reflect, and not so much for me to have tears, but that empty feeling. I have shed tears. As I said, many of these veterans have died.
Yeah.
And when I went on the flight in 2020 and talked to the veterans, I felt like with many of the veterans, I just flew to Pearl Harbor with my father.
Wow.
Because they were the same age.
Right.
And got their stories. I did talk to one person who had a similar job as what my dad did in World War II, and he was aboard an LST, and it was off the northern coast of the Philippines. And what this sailor told me, same thing, they were off the northern coast of the Philippines, and as soon as we started doing the island hopping and moving toward Japan, where there was the talk of an invasion of Japan, you had all those ships starting to move up and get into position, and that's what the LSTs were doing.
Wow.
And he also told me the LSTs were subjected to the kamikaze attacks.
Right.
And I have that gut feeling that maybe something happened aboard the LST, and it stayed with my father for all these years, to where he never told me. And he passed away 1 month, ironically, before 9/11.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow. Well, this is an amazing project, and the fact that you guys have used the proceeds for Honor Flight's just been really amazing. So when we come back from break, we'll talk a little bit about where folks can get the book, and then I want you to tell us one of the stories that goes with the photo.
okay, sounds good.
We'll be back with Steve in just a minute on Nevada Newsmakers.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
Safety is the #1 priority for the trucking industry. Over $7 billion a year is spent on technology like this electronic eye that will apply the brakes automatically. But the most important factor for safety is the truck driver. These hardworking men and women who safely move over 70% of our nation's freight and 94% of Nevada's. We thank you, because trucks move America forward.
Snorkel personnel lifts are engineered beyond the industry norm to an uncommon level of safety. and durability, and with an eye towards sustainability. They're also designed to be simple to operate and maintain. Snorkel, always at the cutting edge of progress.
Oh, what fun it is to win during the $100,000 Christmas giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Up to $17,000 in cash and free play giveaways each week, and over $20,000 in giveaways on New Year's Eve, including up to $10K in cash. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
I'm Rachel Dahl. We're back on Nevada Newsmakers with Steve Ranson talking about his book, Legacies of the Silver State, Nevada Goes to War.
Correct.
And I'm excited because you've told me how much you love doing this, and I want you to write another book, and of course you're going to. So tell us about that one.
Well, as I mentioned, we're going to write about Vietnam.
Yeah.
About 30 stories are already done, and we have anywhere from 30 to, it's a wide span, 30 to probably 50 more.
Wow.
You know, depending on that. And then I have a third one in the works, but a lot of it's already been done. Back in 2011 and 2012, after I had retired from the National Guard, I was one of those attached to state headquarters, but I was told you're not going anywhere type of thing.
Right.
So I got mad, and you know, all the units were deploying to Iraq or Afghanistan, and here I was doing the work back at the state when when the units deployed, when they came back. I went over on my own twice in November of 2011 and November 2012.
To Afghanistan.
To Afghanistan, and out of that, I probably wrote more than about 60, 70 articles over the course of 2 years. And I've been asked, will I take those, will I update those, will I add more, and put it together in a book?
That's awesome.
And we were talking about, you know, I need, you know, write an autobiography. This is probably it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember those stories being in the paper, and they were amazing. It's valuable, I think, to know those lessons. No matter how you feel about it, to know what goes on is important. This picture keeps rolling that we talked about last night when we were visiting. This picture here with the veteran in front of the wall, and you told me this story.
He served in Vietnam with the Army. He was in a platoon, and they were ambushed. He, before he had gone on the flight, had asked for one of our honor flight volunteers to look up some of the names so he could find them.
Right.
But this platoon, after they had been ambushed, only 3 survived. He was one of them. And we rode the bus to the memorial. We saw the World War II memorial first. We built up, saw the Korea memorial, Korean War memorial with the names, and then we went to the Vietnam. And I could tell he was getting, as we got closer, a little more apprehensive.
Yeah.
You know, with that worried look. Anyway, he had help with finding the names. Got to the wall, started looking, and he fell to his knees, or not really fall, but just bent down. And it was really emotional to watch. I'm thinking about it right now because I was there and I took the photo. We get on the bus, and he is silent. We headed back toward the hotels late in the day, and he did not talk. On our last night there at in the Washington, D.C. area, he talked about it a little, and he was very emotional, cried, and it just had the rest of us spellbound.
Wow.
But this is one story, and this is very typical of many of the veterans who served in Vietnam.
Yeah, that's really special. It's an honor that you got to be there and do that with them, and I'm grateful that you share that with us so that we can remember too. I appreciate that. On that note, we'll take a little break. We'll be back on Nevada Newsmakers.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org. With Nevada's only transplant center and verified burn center, the science is here. With award-winning cardiologist and the state's only dedicated heart failure clinic, the talent is here. With Nevada's most advanced robotic surgery, the technology is here. And with the Silver State's only designated pediatric trauma center, hope is here. All because we are here. UMC.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Oh, what fun it is to win during the $100,000 Christmas giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Up to $17,000 in cash and free play giveaways each week, and over $20,000 in giveaways on New Year's Eve, including up to $10K in cash. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
We're back on Nevada Newsmakers talking to Steve Ranson about just one small piece of the fabulous things he's done in his life, and grateful to you for sharing these stories with Nevadans and everyone else who's buying this book and supporting Honor Flight. So thank you for doing that. As the holidays have come and gone and we're getting ready for a new year, will you share with people where they can get the book? We've got a lot of local businesses carrying the book, so let's support them a little.
We do. Let me go through my list. We have the Flag Store in Sparks, Sundance Books in Reno, Purple Avocado, Nevada State Museum, and the Nevada Store, all in Carson City.
Okay.
His Inspirations and the Churchill County Museum in Fallon, Northeastern Nevada Museum in Elko. People can go to the Facebook site Legacies of the Silver State, and as soon as you get on site, you'll see a part of the Facebook site where you can purchase the book. You can also go to Amazon.
Right.
Or Barnes & Noble.
Okay.
We did an interview in Sacramento in March of 2021. And after we did that, the news person said, well, you can purchase it on Amazon. And she said, I checked at Barnes & Noble and they had copies in Sacramento.
Oh, neat.
So after her radio program was aired, I get the information from Amazon after March sales, and we wound up selling almost $1,000 worth of books in Sacramento.
That's great.
So we did pretty good.
That's good.
But we're doing quite well. We've been trying to hold at least one book signing a month somewhere. We were up in Virginia City in November for the
that's
Veterans Day Parade, selling
Perfect.
there. Ken Beaton goes to the wine walk the first Saturday of the month in Carson City to sell the book. We sold it at different events, museum events. We had a presentation at the Churchill County Museum, and we organized 4 straight military authors during the course of the month and sold books there. So we've been everywhere.
That's
and
great.
my next thing I'd like to do is have some type of symposium here in Reno, in the auditorium, or in some banquet room of a casino. Get as many military authors as possible and get the public to come in, especially junior and senior high school students.
That'd be amazing. Always thinking about our students and as a lifetime educator. All right, thanks for being here today. I sure appreciate it. It's been a nice visit, and thank you for joining us on Nevada Newsmakers.
Truck drivers are some of the hardest working people you'll meet, delivering over 70% of America's freight and 92% of Nevada's. When there's a natural disaster, they're delivering critical supplies to help those communities recover and rebuild. Every sector of the economy and our nation's military rely on truck drivers. So let's take a moment to say thank you. On the open road or city streets, our truck drivers are rolling to make our economy and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
Brian Culpa Photography was born in the rolling hills of Massachusetts, and now he can help you experience the stunning beauty of Nevada in a whole new way through the power of flight. Flying has always been a passion for Brian, and at Brian Culpa Photography, he can make your imagination soar. Brian has the creative mind and tools to tell your unique story. Experience the bird's eye view at brianculpaphotography.com. I'm here at the Carson Valley Inn in Minden with Joey Whitaker. Entertainment here at the Carson Valley Inn is extraordinary.
Yeah, super proud of the TJ's Corral, our outdoor venue, about 1,500 seats. We've had first-class entertainment out there. We've had Merle Haggard, we've had Chris Young, we've had Lee Bryce a couple times, we've had Pat Benatar, Joan Jett, who's in the Hall of Fame. We're real proud out there, and it's just a great time. Watch CarsonValleyInn.com and grab those tickets early. It's not a long way to get away to the Carson Valley Inn.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. We'll see you on the next show.